I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear this, but my cat is on the desk right here and he's purring very loudly. So if you are able to hear him, I hope at least his little purrs add to the quality of this video. Hey dancers, it's Kirsten. Welcome back to the Confident Dancer YouTube channel. So what I'm going to be talking about today is how to deal with judgmental peers or even bullying if that's something you're experiencing. Now, of course, this can be dependent on your situation, your age, the stage of life that you're in, the stage of your training. I know that sadly, bullying can be more common when you're younger, in your teenage years, especially when you're much younger, like maybe a preteen. We're all developing, people get jealous of each other, or things like that can be happening. So I hope that the tips in this video help you if that's the stage that you're in. And then also, of course, as a coach, I do work with a lot of dancers who are pre-professional or in their professional career already. And in those environments, even a lot of times what's going on is not at all like blatant bullying, hopefully not, but it's common for there to be a fear of others judging us as we dance. And for that fear of judgment or even knowledge that people are actively judging you, that can really mess with you, get in your head, mess with your level of confidence as you're performing. So the insights I'm going to share in this video are geared to hopefully help with either of those situations if you happen to find yourself in one like that right now. So I hope you enjoy, and if you do, give this video a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments. All right, let's get on with the tips. This first tip is a hard pill to swallow, but personally it's the one that I rely on the very most in my life. And so from just my own experience, I can recommend it, which is to practice understanding and empathy as much as possible. This is going to sound weird, but instead of meeting their resistance towards you, their actions, their judgments, whatever, with more of your own resistance, like, oh, they shouldn't do that. And believe me, it's completely normal and totally fine to be frustrated or angry or to feel wronged if someone's behavior is wrong towards you. That's totally valid. But oftentimes what I ask myself is, do I want to keep this feeling around? Do I want to keep ruminating on it? Do I want to keep cultivating and stirring up this feeling in myself every single day? Or do I want to just have my initial reaction and work my very best, put in my best effort to let it go so that I can have my best quality of life possible? So what I tend to practice personally is when someone else is seeming to act rudely or be judgmental, instead of being like, oh, it's so terrible that they're doing that, how could they, it makes them such a bad person, whatever, blah, 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 so wrong. Yes, it is wrong. And what can be more helpful is asking, now, if I really gave them the benefit of the doubt, why would they be doing that right now? Like, what might cause them to act that way? Is it insecurity? Is it jealousy? Is it fear that, you know, I'm doing better than them, so that means they're not a good dancer? You know, might they be really critical of themselves, very hard on themselves, and the judgment they're projecting towards me is something that they project towards themselves all the time? Or even, yeah, sometimes I do kind of, in very serious cases, what has helped me to really move on is kind of understanding like, all right, I know this behavior looks like it's paying off for them right now, or at least they're just not getting the justice they deserve, but how might this actually really affect them down the road? I feel kind of bad for them because that's not going to work out later. Or, oh, I feel kind of embarrassed for them that they feel they need to act this way in order to make themselves feel better. You know, I don't seek to have a self-righteous attitude when I do that, but kind of looking at, what sad reasons might they have for having that behavior, and how can I seek to understand it and even empathize or have pity? Like, oh, that doesn't work for them. Or maybe, I know for one example of a person I'm thinking about in my life, this person did have a really rough family situation that they were coming from. Actually connecting with empathy for that helped me to not make their actions towards me so personal, which is the second thing I want to share. It is so normal to feel like their actions towards you or their judgment is incredibly personal. And my advice for you is to remember that their judgment of you or mistreatment or bullying, whatever it is, actually says so much more about them than it does about you. So I know it feels personal, but it really is more personal to them and their character than it probably is to you and yours. Hey dancers, I hope you're really enjoying the video so far. I just want to briefly mention to you that if you've been struggling with mental blocks like perfectionism, comparison, self-doubt, or just generally noticing that your mind is causing like self-sabotaging behavior, like holding back when you're really wanting to impress or getting super nervous before a performance, in any case or in any way that that's showing up for you, if your mind is holding you back from feeling as happy and as confident as you want to be as you dance, and also if it's holding you back from performing your best consistently, then I want to invite you to consider the Confident Dancer Coaching Program, which is my signature mindset coaching program for dancers that helps you to totally do an overhaul on your mindset and learn the practical mental tools, frameworks, and techniques to build healthy, authentic confidence and really train your mind to help you perform your best consistently as a dancer. So if that's something you're really interested in, I do offer a free 30-minute consultation. So if you want to just try this out, talk through your goals and challenges and see if this work is a fit for you, I absolutely welcome you to visit the link below, visit my website, learn all about my coaching services, and book that free consultation. There is no harm and nothing to lose, so just go for it. So I hope you're enjoying the video, and let's get back into it. The next thing is to not play other people's games. So often the game can look like, maybe it's not even directed towards you. I notice, especially in company life or school, sometimes one dancer could want to just start gossiping, or in the past, like someone would want to start gossiping about another dancer with me. And I just had the foresight in that moment to be like, maybe even if I do kind of want to agree with them because this other person is doing something a little cringe, I just knew that playing that game with that person would eventually come back around towards me, because that's how it works. The person who is being judgmental towards another person and wants to involve you in that, they're probably going to judge you later down the road. You're going to be the subject matter of that next conversation. And so don't participate in that, because it just perpetuates the culture of judgment and being rude towards each other. So just don't play that game, and don't play someone else's game when the judgment or mistreatment is directed towards you. And what that looks like is, as much as is possible, don't retaliate. Don't seek to get them back or like let them affect you so much to give them that satisfaction. Again, remember, it really is more about them than it is about you when someone is acting that kind of way. So the more you play their games and let them get to you, or kind of snap back at them or seek to get them back in some way, it just perpetuates the cycle. And one of the least satisfying things that you can do to that person on their behalf is like not give them the pleasure of being so affected. I know that's easier said than done, but as much as is possible, don't play their game. Another insight is to do the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated, and as much as is possible, act above reproach, meaning act in such a way, as much as you can, we're all human beings, that makes it seem ridiculous when people try to tear you down. You know, maybe that doesn't always apply to our dancing because our dancing won't be perfect, but if you are really going in as a kind-hearted person every day and you are seeking to be in integrity, act honorably towards other people, eventually, even if one person tries to be rude towards you or judge you or gossip about you with another dancer, there probably will be another dancer who's like, they're really nice. Why would you say that? You know, at the very least, it just does really make a fool out of the other person. Not that that's the goal, but I found a lot of comfort in that for myself. Like when I just ask myself, like, okay, am I acting above reproach? Am I carrying myself in such a way that it makes it hard to judge me? And if someone does try to find something, they're really trying and they're honestly just being really petty at this point. And another thing is, like I said, treat others like you want to be treated. Are you treating others with kindness, respect, with professionalism? That will come back around to you. I do believe that. The last thing I will say is that whenever we judge other people, even if it seems reasonable and harmless, please do recognize that that does come back to hurt us later. Why? I know this because I've talked to so many dancers in our coaching sessions. We're talking about their fear of judgment. They're like, I just know someone else is looking at me and judging me, and I'm holding back in my dancing because I'm afraid someone's gonna think I look ridiculous. And when we start diving into it, they're like, well, I know it's probably happening because I've done it to other people. And that is what I want to comment on. And whether this is a point for you, or we can kind of shift the perspective and say, hey, even the people who are judging you or kind of bullying you, eventually that will become their own paranoia, where they know they've done that to other people. And so when they get in the spotlight in the future, I can almost promise you it's going to come back to them in the form of paranoid thoughts like, oh my gosh, are other people judging me? Because they have actual evidence that they've done it to other people. So of course they would assume other people are doing it to them, even if they're not. And it's going to torture them. It's going to get in their heads. And so I also invite you to ask yourself, is that something that is at play for me right now? Have you judged other people in the past? And is that coming back to you in the form of paranoia? Like, oh my gosh, I think other people might be judging me, even if they're really not. And that is just an invitation to just accept that and own it. Like, okay, I've done that, and I'm just going to commit to doing better in the future. And this is just an opportunity to really learn the lesson of treat others as you want to be treated. And actually, last point is just remember, like, everyone is going to have their moment of being petty. Everyone is going to receive this treatment at some point. Everyone is going to have also their own opinion. So recognize that people are entitled to their own opinions, even if it's hurtful towards you. I know that absolutely sucks, but remember that their opinion is something that they're going to have, but you also get to have your own opinion of how you're doing your dancing. So remember to focus in on that. Like, be very tuned into your own inner game of like, okay, what is my reputation with myself? What is my opinion of myself? Am I showing up in a way that I can respect? Awesome. If not, how do I want to change that to build more self-confidence and self-respect? And realize that, you know, what you are in control of is practicing building up a better reputation with yourself, so that no matter who else thinks whatever they're going to think, it is balanced out with you also having a strong, healthy opinion of yourself. So I hope that these points were encouraging and helpful to you. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and stay tuned for next week's video. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.